Ever wondered why your sweet, obedient child suddenly turned into a rebellious teenager? If so, you're not alone. Welcome to the world of teenage rebellion, a rite of passage that can feel like a roller coaster ride for both you and your teen. Teenage rebellion is a normal part of adolescence. It's a phase most teenagers go through, and it's as natural as the growth spurts they experience during this time. But what sparks this sudden shift in behavior? Well, there are several contributing factors. The desire for independence is a significant one. Teenagers are on the cusp of adulthood and they're eager to assert their autonomy. Hormonal changes also play a part, causing mood swings and emotional turbulence. Peer pressure is another key driver, as is the struggle to establish their identity in a world that's suddenly become much more complex. Understanding these reasons can help you better navigate through this challenging phase of parenting. Scene script. Renowned psychologists and child behavior experts shed light on teenage rebellion. When we delve into the minds of experts, we find that teenage rebellion isn't simply a phase of angst or defiance. Instead, it's a crucial part of the teenage journey towards independence. Esteemed child psychologist Dr. Elena Jackson explains that rebellion is a natural part of the maturation process. It's an adolescent's way of exploring their identity, testing boundaries, and gaining a sense of autonomy. In the words of Dr. Jackson, teenage rebellion is not always a sign of defiance, but often a sign of growth. She emphasizes that rebellion can be a positive force if managed correctly, leading to increased self-esteem and confidence in teenagers. That's not to say that dealing with teenage rebellion is a walk in the park. It's a delicate balancing act requiring patience, empathy, and understanding. Behavioral therapist Dr. Samuel Green highlights the importance of open communication. He advises, instead of imposing strict rules and restrictions, try to foster a relationship where your teenager feels comfortable discussing their thoughts and feelings. This open line of communication can help you understand their perspective and guide them through their journey. Dr. Green also emphasizes the significance of setting boundaries. He elaborates, while it's important to give teenagers the freedom to express themselves, boundaries are equally essential. These provide a sense of security and help teenagers understand the consequences of their actions. Patience, as emphasized by family counselor Laura Thompson, is the final piece of the triad. She says, adolescents are still learning about themselves and the world around them. It's crucial to exhibit patience and understand that mistakes are part of their learning curve. These expert insights underscore the complexity of teenage rebellion. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Every teenager is different, with unique experiences and reactions. As Dr. Jackson, Dr. Green, and Laura Thompson iterate, understanding, open communication, setting boundaries, and patience are key to navigating this challenging phase. Remember, every teenager navigates this phase differently. Now, how can you effectively deal with teenage rebellion? Well, it's a question that's been asked by countless parents, guardians, and mentors throughout history. And although it may seem daunting, there are practical steps you can take. Firstly, let's talk about communication. Maintaining an open dialogue with your teenager is absolutely crucial. This doesn't mean interrogating them about their day, but rather creating a safe space where they feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and feelings. Remember, your aim is to understand, not to judge. It's also important to set clear expectations. Teenagers are pushing boundaries as they grow and learn about the world around them. Having a clear set of rules provides structure and lets them know where these boundaries are. But be mindful, these rules should be fair and consistent. Arbitrary rules or ones that change on a whim can lead to confusion and resentment. Now let's consider the idea of being a role model. You've heard the saying, actions speak louder than words, right? Well, it's particularly true when dealing with teenagers. They're keen observers and they're more likely to follow what you do rather than what you say. So make sure your actions reflect the values and behaviors you want them to learn. Another crucial point is providing a safe and understanding environment. Teenage years are filled with uncertainty and change. Your home should be a sanctuary where your teenager can retreat and feel understood. Encourage their individuality and respect their privacy. This will foster a sense of security and belonging. It's also important to remember that every teenager is different. What works for one might not work for another. Stay flexible and be ready to adjust your strategy as needed. Above all, patience is key. Dealing with teenage rebellion can be challenging and at times exhausting, but remember, it's a phase. It's part of their journey towards becoming an independent adult. It won't last forever, and your relationship with your teenager will come out stronger on the other side. One last thing to keep in mind: it's okay to seek help. If you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure, reach out to professionals like psychologists or counselors. They can provide guidance and support, helping you navigate this tricky phase in your teenager's life. And finally, remember to take care of yourself too. You can't pour from an empty cup. Make sure you're practicing self-care and taking the time to recharge. To sum it up, dealing with teenage rebellion involves open communication, setting clear expectations, being a role model, and providing a safe and understanding environment. It requires patience, flexibility, and self-care. But most importantly, it's about understanding and supporting your teenager through this tumultuous phase in their life. Your teenager needs your support and understanding during this time more than ever. So hang in there. You're doing a great job, and you're not alone. Avoid falling into the trap of these common mistakes when dealing with a rebellious teenager. The teenage years can be a tumultuous time for both the teenager and the parents. Let's discuss some common pitfalls parents often stumble into. First off, overreacting. It's easy to let our emotions get the better of us, especially when we're worried about our child's well-being. But remember, teenagers are still learning how to navigate the world. They're bound to make mistakes. If we overreact to every misstep, we risk alienating them or making them feel like they can't come to us with their problems. Try to keep a cool head and address issues calmly and rationally. Next, not listening. As parents, we often think we know what's best for our children. While this may be true in many cases, it's crucial to remember that our teenagers are individuals with their own thoughts and feelings. They need to feel heard and understood. So, instead of lecturing, try engaging in a dialogue. Ask for their perspective and really listen to what they have to say. Thirdly, trying to control everything. It's natural to want to protect our children, but as they grow into teenagers, they need to learn independence. If we try to control every aspect of their lives, they may feel suffocated and rebel even more. Find a balance, set boundaries, but also give them space to make their own decisions and learn from their mistakes. Lastly, not acknowledging their feelings. Teenagers go through a whirlwind of emotions, and sometimes those feelings can seem overwhelming. It's important to validate their feelings, even if we don't fully understand them. By dismissing their emotions, we may inadvertently make them feel unsupported or misunderstood. So remember, balance is key. Discipline is necessary, but so is understanding. We need to guide our teenagers, but also give them the freedom to grow and learn on their own. Being aware of these mistakes can help you improve your relationship with your teenager. Let's summarize the key points we discussed today. Firstly, we delved into the causes of teenage rebellion. This phase of adolescence is normal, and often a result of teens trying to assert their independence. They're figuring out who they are and testing boundaries. Hormonal changes, peer pressure, and the desire for autonomy can all contribute to this behavior. We also heard experts in the field who provided insightful perspectives. They stressed the importance of maintaining open lines of communication, even when it's tough. They reminded us that teenagers are not just being defiant for the sake of it. They're trying to navigate their way through a confusing and often challenging time in their lives. Then, we tackled some effective strategies for dealing with teenage rebellion. One of the most important things to remember is to pick your battles wisely. Not every act of rebellion is a hill to die on. It's also crucial to set clear and consistent boundaries, provide positive reinforcement, and maintain a balance between discipline and freedom. We also highlighted some common mistakes parents often make, like overreacting, resorting to punitive measures, or taking things personally. It's important to remember that this behavior isn't a personal attack on you, but rather a manifestation of the struggles your teen is experiencing. Above all, the key takeaway from our discussion is this: provide a supportive and understanding environment for your teenager. This doesn't mean condoning negative behavior, but rather fostering an atmosphere where they feel safe to express themselves, make mistakes, and learn from them. It's about guiding them without stifling their independence. Remember, rebellion is a normal part of adolescence. It's a phase growth, exploration, and self-discovery. It can be challenging, not just for the teenagers, but also for the parents. However, it's also an opportunity to strengthen your bond with your child and help them navigate this journey. Remember, this is a phase that will pass. Your love, patience, and understanding can make this journey smoother for your teenager. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos on parenting.